Hey, how's it going, my friends? Happy Sunday. I'm glad you stopped by. So, as you can see, I've got the bed back up on blocks because it's another hot and humid day, and I do that to keep mold away. And it works great, So every time I get out of the bed and I check the weather, if it's going to be a hot, humid day, I just put the blocks under there, and so it's some ventilation, and that will keep the mold away. So I wanted to touch on something I totally forgot to talk about yesterday when I was doing the little van tour video thingy. I forgot to mention a very important part of this. The whole budget part comes from using items you already have. And I guarantee most people already have a filing cabinet or two and a little dresser, like a nightstand style dresser that you could have beside your bed in your house or your apartment, stuff like that. Well, I forgot to mention that this over here behind me, all this that I use as dressers, is stuff I already had. The filing cabinets, the little dresser from Target. I used to use it as a nightstand beside my bed in my apartment. And, when I was starting to build the van, first thing I did was put down some vinyl flooring, so I could easily sweep things out of here. Because it came with a cargo mat, but it had a lot of texture to it, And I thought, it'd be a nightmare trying to sweep all the dirt that's going to accumulate out of that texture. So I just got some really nice smooth vinyl flooring, put that down first. And then, of course, I put the Reflectix up with magnets, leaving a little air gap behind it. Best thing ever for keeping the heat from the roof from reaching you. I can remember before I put that Reflectix wrap up, reaching up and touching how hot that metal was out in the sun, and it would burn your fingers, But now I'm sitting out in the sun. I'm in the driveway of the house that I'm sitting right now, and the sun is shining brightly, and this is just barely warm to the touch, So if you don't insulate anything, at least insulate your roof, because you couldn't put your hand on this if it wasn't insulated right now. It would burn your skin for sure. And Reflectix is kind of expensive, so that'll be a large portion of your budget right there, but it's well worth it, But if you utilize the things you already have in your house or your apartment, really the only things you're going to have to buy is the plywood and 2x4s to build your bed frame, and your insulation, and your flooring. And just for the furniture part of your van build, just use the stuff you already got. Guarantee you've already got what you need for a dresser. And you could go spend a lot of money on cabinetry, I wouldn't recommend it unless that's your thing, and if that is, so be it. But this video is geared toward the budget-minded, the people who have decided they want to escape materialism and all the trappings of it. And even though it tends to lure you back in, I've been victim of it. There's sometimes I see these beautiful van builds and I think, I'd like to go get some, what was the last thing I wanted to get? Oh, I wanted to get this maple or this walnut wooden thing to put over my battery bank instead of this little plastic laundry basket. And then I caught myself and said, what are you doing? What are you doing? That thing was almost $100. And plus it was heavy, And that's another thing. You need to keep the weight of your van build down for fuel economy and just for safety and just for the rideability of your van, the drivability, when you're cornering. And you know what I'm going to do? I think just occurred to me. I wish I could have incorporated it into this video. But I want to calculate just how much weight I have in here. And I'll do that on the next video. But just off the top of my head, it's probably under 400 pounds worth of stuff. And that's just a guesstimation, but I'll come up with a more accurate number on the next video. But that's something to keep in mind. As you're building your van out, try to keep a calculation of how much is this particular item weigh. Because, you know, that's going to affect your braking and your gas mileage and all that good stuff. So it's all about budget with me. And I guess I am just out here trying to proselytize, and I don't apologize for it. I want everybody to keep a budget in mind to escape the situation that you may be in. Don't fall back into it once you do the van life thing, because it's just as easy. You know, you think, well, I'll live in a van, it'll save me all this money, and it will, but you've also got to change a lot of other things than just your residence. You know, a lot of other things is going to have to change, or you will be in jeopardy of falling right back into that material trap. And it's very liberating being free from the material trap. And it's funny, there are people who are true minimalists. I call myself a minimalist. But, you know, I don't think I am. I've got all this stuff in here. This is everything I own in the world is in this van. And this is what, 60 square feet maybe? And I've heard of van dwellers saying that they own storage buildings and all that. And I kind of looked into that for a while. And then I just determined, no, I'll just sell or give away anything that was going to go in that storage building. Because I just decided I don't need it. And, you know, everybody has a different level of minimalism. And at first I thought I was on the extreme level, having all of my worldly possessions fit in a van, and I still have a lot of room in here, a lot of comfortable room in here. But there are people who do backpacking. Now, these people are extreme minimalists. I wish I could do it, but I could never be that minimal. I'm at my cutoff level now. Right now is as far into minimalism as I can go. And I am amazed at how comfortable life can still be, just having everything you own fit this well into a van. It's hard to believe, but it will change. It'll change your emotional standing, that's for sure. Because I feel much better just not being worried about all my possessions. Here's a quick story. I know I'm getting off topic, but I tend to do that. If you've watched my videos, you know how I ramble around. I remember when I had a boat and several motorcycles and 2 vehicles and a house. I spend a lot of my time worrying about those possessions. I remember when there was a storm coming through and I'm at home worrying about my boat down at the marina where I had it docked. I had to rent a slip down there to dock the boat. And sitting at home thinking, should I go all the way over to the marina, which was like 20 miles away, and check on this boat? And there was other times where, you know, I had to keep all the maintenance up on all those motorcycles I had. And I would lie awake at night thinking about, I've got to get the the valves adjusted on this motorcycle. What's that going to cost me? It's all this crazy stuff that gave me worry that stem from these possessions. So, you know, eliminating those possessions also eliminated a lot of that worry that goes along with it. So, yeah, I've rambled from van build all the way to motorcycles. I don't know how that happened. So anyway, guys, I'm going to bring it to an end here. Oh my gosh, we're coming up on 10 minutes. My goodness. So if you're doing a van build and you want to do budget, just use the stuff you got. I could have said that whole video theme in 5 seconds. Just use the stuff you already got. And then once you use that up, then get other stuff if you need it to complete your van build. So Buddy is trying to crawl out of his hole over there under the bed. I need to go and put him back in his little basket. So everybody have a great Sunday. Be well. Click the bell. Bye, guys.